course number 1, we have 701C blown fuel modified roadster, LeFevers and Jessel.
Push up like that, and then push back.
Yeah.
This is a C blown fuel modified roadster. John Andrusak, come on, buddy. Let's get your did you license up?
John had earned his license, and with that hurdle behind them, the 701 team had time for one attempt at the record.
And he's driving a C blown fuel modified roadster. C engine. Lower displacement in the 300 cubic inch category. And this is LeFevers and Jessel blown fuel modified roadster. John Andrusak's one of those land speed racers brought up by George Calloway. Off the push truck. Trying to get off the push truck. There we go. Good job, buddy. Go get it off the push truck, and away he goes, favoring the center of the course, keeping it all together, keeping the traction going for that 277 class record. I believe he's already earned his license, so I think he's good to go for this record. Through the 5, 270.448 with an exit speed of 270.959. Nice run for John Andrusak and the LeFevers and Jessel blown fuel modified roadster.
The 2025 Speed Week didn't end the way the team had hoped. The 701 had the speed, but Bonneville had a way of reminding you that speed is only part of the equation.
The attempt in 2025 was the first time I ever drove the car, and I had to do some license passes, and it was a great chance to get the car figured out and get it down the track and just get a good feel for how the car acted and stuff. The difference in 2026 was we had more horsepower, we had a little better wing, intercooler, we had a better intercooler so we can put down more horsepower. The polished wheel disc covers.
The rear wing on the car was originally from an NHRA top alcohol dragster. It had way too much drag on it. So once we went 270 last year, we turned up the boost a little bit and we didn't see an improvement. So I was pretty confident that the wing was holding back our terminal velocity. So we built it's not really aerodynamics, but it's more of an airfoil than a wing. So it's a much more efficient rear wing. And we also had intercooler problems last year. The intercooler that I had in the car originally was one that I had laying around the shop, which is the way a lot of things work on that car. We knew that our air temperatures were a little too high, inlet air temperatures, so we modified and bought new intercooler material and built a new intercooler for the car.
It's going to be a hot one all across Utah, where temperatures today 107, 108, just been so hot, and there's hardly a cloud in the sky out there.
The BNI chair says that we should start this before we all die of heat exhaustion. So if I can have your attention, and I'm going to introduce Heather. Heather?
Every August, racers from around the world return to Bonneville Salt Flats for Speed Week. This ancient lake bed becomes the stage of some of the fastest cars on Earth, where every run is measured against a record that has stood before it. For the LeFevers team, 2026 was about more than simply making another pass. After years of chasing this record, they'd come back with one goal in mind. The car was ready. The team was ready. Now, after years of chasing this number, there was only one thing left to do. Go faster.
Speed of 272. Congratulations, LeFevers and Jessel. John Andrusak, take it to impound. I think she said 82.
Nice run. Again, the speed in mile 5 qualified at 282.
Oh, yeah!
Qualified it at 282. Yeah. Wish you were here. It's hot as shit though, so you're not missing out much.
The qualifying run was, couldn't get it to hook up till about the 4 mile, so it was like just trying to be easy on the throttle, just trying to get it down through there, trying to keep the car straight. It was real slippery, so it wanted to push me all the way over to the left, back to the center. So it was just trying to manage to get it down the course. And then when I pulled off, you know, they're all coming up honking the horns, and I'm like, oh, I must have qualified. I knew the RPM was close, but you know, I didn't realize it till they come up honking and flashing lights and you know, hugs. And with RPM wise, I knew I was there, but you always think, well, did I see it? Did I see it wrong? You know, so when somebody comes up and tells you, oh, you qualified, you know, and congratulations, gives you a big hug, it finally sinks in. Oh shit, now we got to go to impound, you know. Well, there's a lot of emotions going through impound, trying to get the car ready, get it fired up, make sure, you know, it's ready for the next day. Just safety checking everything. You know, as I was pulling away from the line, it was like, all right, we're gonna do a repeat of yesterday. We're not gonna try to push anything. Let's just get down the course and then get this done. And it was just all about hitting ship points and just trying to keep the car straight, because the course was a little better in the morning, so I was able to get a little more power down, which I paid off in the other end with a couple, 3 or 4 more miles an hour. I don't really feel like I'm going that fast because I'm trying to keep the car straight. I'm trying to hit my ship points, and the only thing that really shows that the speed is those little black quarter-mile markers start coming up quick, and you're like, oh shit, that thing just flew by. Oh, there's the 4, and then you look up, and then next thing you know, you're through the 5, so.
When I went to my room, I'm thinking about it. So the car's been relatively successful at El Mirage. We've set 2 records at El Mirage with both of my sons driving, and they're both in the 200 mile an hour club at El Mirage. They call it the Dirty 2 Club. At Bonneville, we've always struggled. We've had transmission problems. We've had electronics problems, electrical harness problems. We had the tire failure last year, bad weather. We've had bad courses. There was a year that I didn't run because the courses were so bad. Everybody's speeds were down, 30 and 40 miles an hour. And it was like, I'm here to set a record. I'm not here to just run my car. So, there's 1 year, another year, then another year, and years go on and on and on. So the reality was, this is the first time this car had ever been an impound at Bonneville. That was exciting, looking forward to trying to set the record the next day. That's where my mind was at, an impound.
LeFevers and Jessel, car number 701, John Andrusak behind the controls, moving up in the world, driving the prestigious LeFevers and Jessel blown fuel modified roadster.
Course is clear.
All starting from George Calloway. giving him an opportunity to drive one of his roadsters. What a cool story.
.969 is the mile 2 time. Up. Order. Mile 3 was 246.739. Was 266.440. Mile 5, 285.0. Fastest speed yesterday at mile 5.
When did you realize you made the record?
When I went through the 5 and I looked down at the dash and I see my RPM, and then when I pulled off, it's just everybody's just honking their horns, flashing their lights, and definitely find the same thing. It means a great accomplishment. Doing something that a lot of people can't do or even want to try to do. It was great to see Mike's program get to where he wanted to see it after 13 years of running his car. And the red hat's just a bonus. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that club that made hot rodding what it is today. You know, and it's an honor to be on the list with all these people. Yeah, I want to give thanks to Mike and Kevin LeFevers, Joe from Firefox, Mike and Tracy Kilger for always being there, Donnie Cummins being a great safety coordinator, and then John Beck and Paul Bowman for always being there for advice. And you know, I want to give a special shout out to Matt Rhymes for all he does.
Thanks.
He's awesome. Yeah. Is that better? Yeah.
You know, I certainly feel that the car's capable of touching or potentially going faster than 300 miles an hour. So I am looking forward to that. Well, I've been the president of the Bonneville 200 Mile an Hour Club for the past 6 years. The Bonneville 200 Mile an Hour Club is an organization, standalone, not part of the SCTA or any other racing organization, that recognizes significant achievement at the Bonneville Salt Flats. That achievement is somebody that is setting a record over 200 miles an hour. So it's not just going 200 miles an hour, but it's setting a record over 200 miles an hour. That can take some people years to do. Some people never achieve it. I was fortunate in the year 2000 when I was working on the Firebird with the Kugels. They thought it would be funny to put the engine builder in the car and see what he could do. So I managed to set a record at 260 miles an hour, 260.139 to be exact. It was, in this case, getting John Andrusak in the club in my car was just a really neat feeling. Being able to welcome him into the club, hand him his hat, and then have him at the banquet on Wednesday night. That was pretty terrific. I have had tremendous amounts of help over the last 15 years with this car, and you can't do this by yourself. It's amazing what little things people can bring to the table to make it easier for you to compete. I have a lot of them to thank.
It's just course condition.
Yeah. That's what I figured it was just by looking at the mile times and stuff like that. It just be all the way down. It was.
I couldn't look down here. He went down till last minute here. But when it hooked up, it got with it.
For years, the 701 team chased a number that always just seemed a little farther away. There were fast runs, there were setbacks. There was long nights in the shop, difficult days in the salt, and more than one reason to wonder if the record would ever come. But they kept coming back. They kept working. All of that finally came together. 283.643 miles per hour. The 701 had finally done what they came to Bonneville to do. It had earned its place in the record book.